success and they don't move forward in business. Okay. So I think when you become successful in something, it means more responsibility. It means more exposure, public exposure. And we're going to talk about y'all introverts, and pressure. But you know what? The pressure comes from yourself, really. Now, some people say, no, I'm pressured from other people when it comes to success. But most of the time, the biggest source of pressure, it comes from yourself. So let's jump right into this. And y'all know what our question is every time we do something is, what is it? Okay. So what is fear of success? Fear of success is the concern that once we achieve something new, hey, Tracy, once we achieve something new, we're incapable of sustaining it or may suffer because of it. And that is so true, especially when it comes to, if you have a ministry type business, all ministries are businesses. Let's just be real. But if you, especially on that ministry side with this, most people, because they see when people get successful in that, they see all of a sudden they get hit with stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden it's like it's warfare, spiritual warfare, and all this different type of stuff. And then on the business side, for those who are not in ministry, you all of a sudden you see there's more pressure, your health, and things of that nature. And some people shy away from success because they think the moment I step out here, all of a sudden things are going to start coming at me. My past is coming up, all this different type of stuff. So fear of success is a real thing. All right. So when y'all come in, like I said, invite at least 2 people, because we all know somebody who is suffering from this right now. I'm going to put in some of the hers girls in here. I'm going to put in some of our hers girls in here, y'all, because everybody needs to really be on here. Everybody really needs to be on here because we hear it all the time. And we see some of our colleagues, we see some of our friends, some of them, we see them paralyzed because of this fear of success. And it doesn't matter how anointed and how appointed you are. Somebody at some point in their life, they suffer from this. And so that's why I want us to talk about it, because I want other people to know that it's not just them. And I want other people to know that there are things you can do to combat it. Okay. So I want people to understand that, and that this topic is being talked about. Okay. That it literally is being talked about. And so I don't think I shared it on my regular page. So boom, there, shared it on my regular page. But what did you say, Naila? She said one of her fears is losing friends. It actually happened to me when I topped in my graduate school. I feel that in some societies, successful people are not celebrated, and people try to isolate them and feel insecure from them. So we need to educate the society about celebrating high achievers. You must have seen it too. Yes, Your Excellency. Yes, we have. And yes, I have. But I want people to understand, when that happens and you lose friends, it's not because of you. So this is what this topic is going to teach you. It's not because of you. It's because of them. Sometimes some people are jealous of your success. Okay. So that is one of the things. But because it's you that's been successful, you internalize that, and you will intentionally isolate yourself, or you allow what other people do cause you to isolate yourself. So that's what fear of success is. Next slide. We're going to talk about this. What causes fear of success? These are the causes. When I did my research, I did all of the social, psychological, emotional, spiritual research on this. And here are the top, y'all, the top 4 factors that lead to the fear of success. Okay. Number 1, introverted nature. Sometimes it's just, and let's just be real, sometimes it's you. Sometimes you're an introvert. Some people are introverts by nature, and then other people become introverts because of everything associated with success. Okay. That's the number 1, is the introverted nature. And if you're not an introvert by nature, you become one, and you start to exhibit introvert behaviors and attitudes because of what you've seen and heard about success. Okay. And that's because there's more recognition. More recognition is thrown your way. More acknowledgement is thrown your way. Hey, Shabika. And like I said before, more responsibility is thrown your way. And sometimes people are shoved, not on their own. And sometimes because you become successful, not trying to become successful, but you pop up and you're successful, all of a sudden you start trending everywhere. And so that can be a shock to some people, especially if you're introverts. Okay, if you're introverts. So that all of a sudden that fear cripples you because you're in the public eye more. Okay, so if you are of an introverted nature, then this additional public exposure could lead to increased levels of anxiety. Who's experienced that? Okay. All right. I'm actually an introvert, but I camouflage as an extrovert. But I love being alone. I do. I really don't like big crowds, believe it or not. I don't, but because of what I do, I have to be in front of these big crowds. And sometimes, and I tell people before I do lives like this, I still get nervous. I always be like, okay, God, don't let anything go wrong. Don't let the, don't let the Wi-Fi act up, and all these different things play in my mind. Like, oh my gosh, what if the thing freezes and just all kind of crazy stuff sometimes go through my mind. And people don't understand that it can be a real crippling thing. It can be debilitating for some people, this level of anxiety. Okay, Naila, I know, me too. This level of anxiety because you're out there. You're out there. Okay, you're out there, and once you're out there, you can't go back to being the same old introvert. You really, really can't, because now you're known. Now people have seen you. And now, yes, sometimes there is an expectation, but the greater expectation is from yourself. Okay. All right. From yourself. Okay. So it really does lead to these high levels of anxiety. And this is why we see a lot of celebrities crash sometimes, because they're constantly in the public eye. And it's a huge responsibility. All right. So that's one of the causes of this fear of success. Number 2, the fear of failure. Everybody has experienced this. Okay. Everybody has experienced this. When it comes to the fear of success, this is number 2, is fear of failing. But look how that is so unbalanced when you think about it, because you're like, I'm successful, but I still fear failure. So it really is a psychological thing, because if you stop to think about it, it's like, I'm already at this level of success, but I fear failure. You're already a success. You're already a success, but your mind won't let you capsulate on that because the fear is so great. Okay, the fear is so great. And so that's the thing. And we're going to get to how to overcome some of these things, but we want to point these out so people who deal with fear of success can understand and know that other people deal with it too. Naila said, yes, I guess writing makes us like our own company. Something. Yes. So it adds up to the introvert behavior tendencies. Yes. Because when Naila wrote her book and she launched her business, then she was on television, and now all of a sudden everybody knows you, and being an ambassador on top of that. So now you're in the public eye and everybody's watching, and when everybody's watching, that anxiety level goes up here, and sometimes you can do what we're going to talk about later, self-sabotage yourself, so you're not in the public eye because of this fear of failure. And my thing to you is, you're already a success. So you don't have to fear failing. You already are successful. But again, that's something that you have to work through not on your own, but in your own time and in your own pace with the help. And y'all, and sometimes it does, because of some of these different factors. Sometimes you do have to get therapy. Sometimes you do have to get counseling, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So, and the other flip side to that is that natural desire that we have to retain this level of excellence that we are, that increases the fear of failure. Because we have a desire and we're like, I've reached this pinnacle and I want to stay here and I want to continue to do it like this. And I want to continue to be successful and successful and successful. And that increases that anxiety, and it increases that fear of failure, because you're setting yourself up, because you're like, oh man, I got 30 sales by doing this. And I got another 40 sales by doing this. But the first time that you lose a sale or you don't make as many sales by doing that same thing, your mind says, oh, you're a failure. It goes from 20 to 0 in about 2 seconds because of this fear of failure. And you think you're a failure because you didn't live up to this particular expectation. So now your anxiety goes through the roof. And this is an imagined circumstance. Okay, it really is. It's your mind, and you have to overcome that. You have to conquer. You got to conquer this fear up here first. Okay, and so it will cause you to develop this fear of failure. All right. The next one, everybody on here has dealt with it, probably dealing with it. And some of you guys, I've talked to you about it. Okay, let's talk about this. The fear of failure influences the fear of success due to what is imagined what will happen once an achievement is reached. Once you've reached that achievement, now your mind will not allow you to enjoy being successful. Your mind is now saying, oh my gosh, let me not do this because it's going to cause me to fail. Let me not do that because I may fail. Let me not be able, you can't even enjoy the success because you fear of falling and failing because you've reached this level. Okay. Perfectionism. Where y'all perfectionists at? Hey, Sister Shaquita. You came on just in time, Sister Shaquita, for the perfectionists. All right. This is also one of the reasons why people fear success is perfectionism. It's one of the top 4 factors that causes the fear of success. Perfectionism. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Okay. This will lead you to perfectionism is crazy. Let me get over to this slide. When you have a perfectionist thought pattern, somebody say, it's my thinking. Okay, because perfection doesn't exist. If you can just get that in your mindset, okay, that's why it says it's a thought pattern. It's imagined. All right, we have a perfectionist thought pattern. Okay, when we have it, then our thoughts are what, y'all? Fixated. It's fixated. It means it's fixed. I wish some of y'all could focus on your goals as much as you focus on this perfection. All right, it's fixated. And when something is fixated, that's an issue. Like if somebody become fixated on you, that's like stalking. All right, that's stalking. She said she's working on it. All right. Sometimes it comes in handy, but then other times it cripples you. You can't even enjoy what you've created, because if it's just off a centimeter, your mind automatically said, "Oh my gosh, this is a mess." Because it's not centered. Or if you forget a period or something, or you forget a comma or something, you have scrapped the whole thing because it just wasn't perfect. And nobody else probably even paid any attention to it. And so you become fixated. And sometimes sometimes you waste time. Sometimes you will waste time and you will spend 5 hours, okay, on something that should have took you maybe 30, 35 minutes. Because to you, the pink ain't the right shade of pink. It wasn't this color pink last week when I did it. Y'all see all my different pinks. Y'all may see 3 or 4 different pinks up here. As long as I can get it close to what I call hers girl pink or impact pink, you're going to get it. All right. I had to get over this. I'm talking about this because I've experienced this before and it took a lot for me to get over it. Okay. It took a lot for me to get over it. And you will spend so much time and everybody else is going to see it and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, as long as it's done in excellence, perfection should be gone out the window because it's never going to be perfect because you will always find something wrong with it. So you can't go on. You stay stuck because you're so fixated. In the past, there it is. She would delete comments off of the live because punctuation. Man, if I spell a word wrong on y'all live, y'all will see my next comment with the correct spelling. Okay. I'm not about to delete my comments. Y'all gonna see them comments. All right. But it takes time because it says it's a thought pattern. All right. When we have a perfectionist thought pattern, then our thoughts are fixated on how we are not good enough and how we can achieve more instead of enjoying what you've achieved and what you've accomplished. It's a thought pattern. It's a thought pattern. Okay. All right. And that's what it is. It's a thought pattern. So the first battle you got to conquer is the one that's in your mind. And it really does keep us, it causes us to eliminate us from feeling successful. And it causes fear of success because now you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm successful. They're expecting me to spell everything right. They're expecting for me to have this thing centered just right. They're expecting this thing to be perfect and they're not. They're just waiting on it. They're just like, where is it at? Okay. And some of y'all who have worked with me with books can tell, I'll be like, if you don't let that thing go and let me do what I need to do, it's not going to be perfect. Okay. And sometimes in your quest to make it perfect, you can go all the way over the people's head with what you're trying to do because sometimes it can be too much. Sometimes it can just be way too much. And now they're no longer interested because now you try to be perfect by being intellectual and being philosophical. And all they wanted was just this. Okay. So it is a thought pattern. All right. I know a couple of people who also deal with this one. This is top 4. I figured it would be here. Guilt. Some people feel guilty about being successful. You can feel guilty, and some people, and then those around you can cause you to have guilt-ridden type thinking because you're successful, especially if you grew up in a poor neighborhood. And you left that neighborhood. Now people make you feel guilty because you're no longer living like that. You're living better. You're living better. Sometimes this is one that a lot of my clients that I deal when I'm coaching them, this is a lot of what they deal with. All right. We can feel guilty about many things when it comes to being successful, from, here we go, increased attention to time away from our family. Sometimes your families and sometimes it's not your family. Okay. Sometimes it's you thinking that your family is thinking bad because you spend so much time away. Sometimes they understand your success more than you do. And this is immediate family, the ones that are in your household. Okay. I'm not talking about like the outside extended and all that type of stuff. Because sometimes those that are extended or where you came from, that you can start to feel guilty, or they can say things like, ooh, you forgot where you came from because you didn't used to dress like that. You didn't used to talk like that. You never wore your hair this way. You never dressed this way. All of a sudden now you think you're all that because you drive this, and now you start to feel guilty. Now you start to feel guilty because you're living better than those that are from where you're from. And sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, I left them behind. And now this is where you get stuck. Now your whole entire vision is not on you enjoying the success and increasing your success. Now your thought pattern is, now what can I do to make it better for those back home? What can I do to make it better for those that I quote unquote left behind? You didn't leave them behind. It's called growth and it's called maturity. And when you leave home, this is what you do. You leave home to become successful sometimes, but you get so stuck that sometimes you can be given a vision and you will take a sharp left turn because somebody said, oh, now you don't think, now you act like you don't know me, or you're acting brand new. Ain't that's what they say? You acting brand new. Now you got this guilt in your mind. And now all of a sudden you will stop working on your vision, building your businesses, pushing your brand, all right, and your things, because now you want to center it around somebody else based on what they said, because they pressed the guilt button on you. Naila said, yes, guilt tripping happens when we start prioritizing ourselves and when we stop people pleasing. Yes. Yep. Because if you don't, right, that part, Tracy, they have no idea where our heart lies. They don't. And the thing about it is, most of it is when you become successful like that, most of the time people will want to make you feel guilty because they're not moving and they're not doing and living up to their expectation. And so they want to make you feel bad because you've gone and exceeded the expectation. But guilt is huge. And a lot of people fear success because of guilt. Been there, done it. Had to listen to people say, oh, you forgot where you came from. No, I didn't. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I remember where I came from. I remember when I didn't have. I remember when I couldn't just go to the store and buy something. I remember when I didn't have a car. I remember when I couldn't go get my hair and nails done. I remember when I couldn't dress the way I dressed and all these different things. And so it's like, no, I haven't forgotten where I came from. I remember where I came from. But again, it took me a minute and therapy to get over that. And I had to stop allowing people to make me feel bad about doing good. Okay, so that right there is huge. Those four are something else when it comes to the fear of success. Q&A. Before we get on to the next, does anybody have any questions they want to ask about this part of it? This thing was so deep. I loved it though. I love digging into this one because so many entrepreneurs deal with it. And I do believe men deal with this when it comes to business, but their mind, it's like a steel trap too. So once they get their teeth into something, they're going to go ahead. But mostly women tend to deal with this more than men. They really, really do. They tend to deal with it more, or I should say verbalize it more than men do. And so women really tend to struggle a little bit more with this particular fear of success, according to research. But we know it's because women verbalize it more and men don't. They just keep going. But today we're talking about the women and trying to get over this fear of success. Okay, so if you have questions about this part, then you can leave it in the comments and I'll come back and I'll check it out later. The replay is available. Again, hello to everybody who's watching me on LinkedIn and my Twitter people. Hey, Twitter. Next, what are fear of success symptoms? Yes, y'all, this is why I say sometimes it takes therapy, because there are symptoms. Okay, symptoms. Okay, medical. All right. Here's one of the symptoms, the top one. You try to blend in. You try to blend in. I've been there and I've done it, because you don't want the spotlight on you. So you'll try to blend in. You'll try to blend in and not stand out, because you don't want the attention. Sometimes it means keeping a low profile, not speaking up or speaking out. That can be one of the things. And you'll do everything within your power not to stand out. You won't dress. You address okay, but you won't dress as much. Y'all know me though. I'm extra. I like I said, it took a minute, but I'm over it. But I used to wouldn't like dressy dress the way I used to dress, because I wanted to stay in the background. Now I'm like a peacock now. Y'all see what I do, all right? But you'll do that. So you do that so no extra attention is brought to you, and you are so successful, and you deserve this attention. You deserve to stand out, but your mind won't let you because of this fear of success. So you'll just try to blend in with everybody else and not be different and not be unique. So you'll blend in, and sometimes you can. And again, it leads into what we're going to talk about here with the next thing. And so there you go. Not speaking up, keeping a low profile in the classroom setting. Some of y'all did that. I've done that before. Or try not to stand out in a crowd, but you were meant to stand out, y'all, not blend in and get lost. All right. Self-sabotage. Who's done that? And that's one of my coaching focuses. That is where I pinpoint and that's where my laser focus is in my life coaching, to help people break these self-sabotaging habits. That is what I do in the coaching world, is help women and women professionals break these self-sabotaging habits. Okay. And this fear of success, when it comes to self-sabotage right here, whenever you get close, I know, see y'all, I almost start preaching right now. Whenever we get close to achieving something, some part of us steps in and interferes. Whenever we get close to achieving something, some part of us steps in and interferes, and we self-sabotage. Been there, done it. Been there. I was one of the best self-sabotagers. And then you tell yourself, well, I knew it wouldn't last. After you sabotage the thing, I knew it wouldn't last. I knew it wasn't going to be a success. I knew I would fail. I knew I would, but you've done everything to cause yourself to fail. You didn't sell. You didn't make the sales. You didn't even try to sell anything. And then when you didn't make sales, then it's like, see, nope, nobody didn't want it. Nope. See, didn't make no profit, but you didn't push anything. You did the total opposite. You did nothing so that nothing would happen, so you can say nothing happened. That is self-sabotage 101 for those who experience self-sabotage. Hey, Corinthia. All right. And so this and I think here's what psychology, this is a thing that I picked up from psychology. They said that some of the most common forms of self-sabotage is procrastination, okay? Perfectionism, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your relationships, and when it comes to work. Those are the areas right there where we self-sabotage the most. And that was from Psychology Today. That's where I got that statistic, where we self-sabotage the most. That was from Psychology Today. Okay, when I was doing my research for that. All right. And here's the crazy part. Sometimes you've done it so much that now it becomes just it's an unconscious behavior now. And this is something that you have to unlearn. This is not nothing that you can just stop doing. You have to unlearn self-sabotaging behavior. It has to be unlearned because you taught yourself how to sabotage yourself. Now you got to unlearn what you've taught yourself. And it can be real crazy, okay? But it's real common though, especially when it's in relationships. This is huge when you get to relationships, when everything is going good and you feel like it's about to go to the next step in the relationship. You will do something. You will do something to cause the other person to walk away from you or not deal with you no more. So you can say, well, see, I knew nobody loved me. Like I knew nobody loved me. I knew this wouldn't last. No, it was, you did this and you sabotaged it. It really does. It becomes normalized unconsciously. Yep. It's an unconscious behavior. Okay. And this is, and when you get so close to attaining success, all right, this self-sabotaging is so deep and it's so cunning. It's you cunning you. Okay. Can we talk it? Can we talk about it? This is you cunning you. This is you bamboozling you is really what it is. And so when you get so close to attaining success, your perceptions and thoughts about yourself will not align with reality. That's how deep this is. When you get close to attaining success, your thoughts and your perceptions about you will not align with reality. And to you, it seems like it's the most logical thing in the world. And everybody else on the outside is looking like, oh my God, why did you do that? Why did you mess that up? Like, why did you mess that up? Well, I didn't. I tried my best. To you tried your best, but subconsciously you threw little things in there. You threw little traps in there to cause it to collapse. And then you look at everybody else around you. But it's really you bamboozling you. It really is. It's real. It is you bamboozling you. It's not anybody else. And then it causes other people around you to feel like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Now you make them feel bad. Then here comes the guilt because now you made them feel bad. So now you got to do something else and it's just a never ending cycle. Self-sabotage is deep, y'all. I mean, I could do a whole study on that in and of itself. That's why I coach on that. That's why that is my area of coaching. Okay. Next, make excuses. Who's ever done that? Make excuses. All right. That contributes. That is one of the symptoms of the fear of success is making excuses. Who's done that? Me. I've done it before. That's why I can talk about it. I would have, listen, I would have been right on up there, but, I wasn't feeling well. And because I wasn't feeling well, not reasons, excuses. There's a difference between reasons. And then the rest of them are just excuses. Just excuses. Just excuses. And then you feel bad once you see somebody else achieve and attain what it is that you were trying to do, because number one, you self-sabotage yourself. And then number two, then you made excuses why you couldn't do what you needed to do to ensure you were successful in it. You just came right on through with those excuses. Okay. Got it. It's fine. It's easy. When you have a fear of success, it's easy to find excuses not to be successful, not to finish something, not to complete something, not to achieve something. It's easy. Okay. And listen, and it's so easy to lie to yourself. Oh my goodness. All right. It's so easy to lie to yourself. Like, girl, you don't have time to do that. So yeah, don't worry about it. That's why, whatever, it'll come back around. You just didn't have time. You were doing this, and this. So you didn't have time. I mean, we can come up with some excuses. And guess what that does? It allows us to stay in our comfort zone. That cycle, there's that cycle again. It allows us to stay in our comfort zone. That's just what it does. Okay? We make those excuses. There you go. Find a reason why something won't work or why we can't do something. If you want to know the bottom line, the upfront definition of finding excuses, find reasons why something won't work and why we can't do something. Hey, Vicky, you can find, it's amazing how much research you can do. Okay, when it comes to excuses of why you can't do something or why something won't work, instead of looking for reasons for why it can work and how you can achieve something. This is what I do in coaching. I tell my coaching clients, I tell them to get a piece of paper and make a list. Find reasons why you can't do something, and then give me reasons of why you can. And this one on the left is always super long. They always can find a reason why something they can't do it. It always. And I was like, really? So you had to dig deep to find a reason why you can do something. Vicky said she get her box of Band-Aids. Got to get out of our comfort zone and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that is my saying right there, Corinthia. I was like, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You really do. Vicky says she's getting out her Band-Aids. Okay. Now, let's go here. Anybody got questions on that before we get into the steps of what you can do to overcome this fear of success? Okay, because I don't want to keep y'all long because this is really, really good. And I really did my study on it because I wanted y'all to have this so you can come back and see it later. Okay. All right. Boom. How do we overcome fear of success? All right. And the reason why I know y'all perfectionists said, oh, why is there not a THE in there? Why didn't it say overcome the fear? Because it's not just one fear. Fear. Okay. How do we overcome fear of success? Number one, acknowledge and accept. Okay. Acknowledge and accept. And I put on here, this right here, it involves a lot of honesty and introspection. And one of the ways you can do that is by journaling. I love this. In all the research I even looked up, the number one thing for this introspection, for acknowledging and accepting you and accepting how you are, is journaling. Yes, it's more than one fear. That's why I did not put the fear of success, because it's more than one fear. That's why I just put fear of success. Okay, journaling. And the reason why journaling was one of the top ways to do a lot of introspection is because you can say stuff in your journal that you don't feel comfortable saying out loud, just to get it out. Okay, just to get it out. Just to get it out. All right, nobody else is going to see it. It's just you and your journal. So that is one of the top ways of overcoming the fear of success when it comes to acknowledging and accepting. All right, because it's natural for us to make excuses. So hard work, y'all heard me, it takes work. And this is what I tell my coaching clients. Hard work must go into you peeling back all of these layers of the facade you have put up for so long. You got to start getting honest with you. Okay, before you can be honest with everybody else, you have to be honest with you. It's time to pull back the layers, y'all. All right, pull them back so you can be honest. All right. And so journaling is so great. I love that. I love the journaling, all right, because you can just blurt it out. Yes, Vicky, more hard work. Okay. When it comes to acknowledging and accepting the fact that you have this particular fear of success and trying to figure out where it came from, how is it crippling you? You got to peel back these layers. So journaling is one. Okay. Step 2, you have to locate the underlying issue. What is the issue? Because there's always an issue. Pinpoint which of those 4 factors that we talked about is the true driver of your feelings. You experience all of them because you said that you did, but which one of them bad boys is in the lead? Which one is at the wheel driving your emotions? Is it guilt? Is it the perfectionism? Is it the introverted nature? Is it those? Which one of those 4 that we talked about is the main one driving your emotions? Because that's going to help you pinpoint your source, okay, and pinpoint your pressure point when it comes to fear of success. And one of the ways you can do this is track your avoidance patterns. Track those patterns. Yeah, Vicky says she's an introvert. If that's the main one, so this is why it's great to have a journal, okay? So you can track your avoidance patterns, all right? Which means at what point we self-sabotage and run away from our goals. Track it. Like, when is it that you feel like that? Is there a particular goal that you're trying to achieve, or does this happen with any goal you're trying to achieve? Is it your short term? Is it your long term? And what time of day? I'm telling you, track this thing all the way down until you get to the root of it, of that one. Okay. Yes, everybody has more, Vicky, but there's one that really, really is driving your emotions. There's one that's in the lead. Okay. So this right here, because you're self-sabotaging. Your avoidance patterns is going to show you where you self-sabotage. It's going to show you again why you avoid certain situations. Okay. And how you and writing this out is going to give you a blueprint on how you can take it step by step. All right. So that you can move closer to achieving your goal. And your goal is being comfortable with being successful. This is what it does. So track it. That's like my journal I have for a habit tracker. So I can find out when I'm getting fit. So I can find out which one of these bad habits is the main one. And mine was snacking. Not just snacking, but snacking late at night. All right. And not just snacking late at night, but snacking late at night on chips. Okay. So I went all the way down until I got it. And then I knew what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to do, because I want you to be comfortable with being successful. That's what we want you to do. Okay. All right. So this is going to involve a lot of brainstorming on your part, but journals are great for this. Okay. And then here we go. Number 3, work on overcoming the factors causing fear of success. And again, you got to look at those other 4. Is it your introverted nature? All right. And if that is one of the ones, then decide what it is you want to be. Ooh, I love that, y'all. I love that. You got to take a deeper look at those 4 causes as well, the symptoms and the causes, and how you can deal with them individually. All right, on the individual nature. And the way you can do that is you got to decide what you want to be. When we're talking about overcoming the fear of success, you got to decide what you want to be. Okay. And that includes, if you want to be a speaker, then you're going to have to get comfortable with speaking in front of people, step by step. Okay. Step by step, if that's something that you want to do. All right. But you must locate the cause. All right. If you deal with that perfectionism, focus on positives and not the negatives. Okay. That is the tool for the perfectionist. Focus on the positive, not on the negative. Positive self-talk. Talk to yourself positive. Talk to yourself like somebody you love. All right. Talk to yourself like somebody, like you cheer on everybody else. Cheer yourself on. Tell yourself you got it. Tell yourself you can do it. All right. It's much more than just positive affirmations. It's really, really talking to yourself, not just reading this sentence and say, you know what, I can do this. Yes, I can. It's more than that. This is really talking to yourself. I suggest recording yourself and then playing it back to yourself during those moments where you feel like, oh, I don't think I can't get it out, and play it back. And not just a voice recording, a video recording, so you can see you tell you that you can do it. Because I can tell you all day that you can, but until you tell yourself, then it does nothing. You will stay right there. Okay. So this is work. Overcoming this fear of success is work. To some people, yes, it may involve therapy. It might involve therapy. Okay. But you can at least start with you being a cheerleader for you. And then here's a big one. Here's a real big one. Enjoy the process. Don't think of the process as a bad thing. Okay, don't think of the process as a bad thing. Think of this as I'm doing something positive for myself so that I can be better and so that I can enjoy all the hard work that I've put into this. Okay, I want you to be able to enjoy what you have achieved. So yes, it involves work, y'all. It involves the work, but enjoy the process of getting better. Okay, enjoy that process. If you're dealing with guilt is one of the biggest ones too to deal with, but you can do this if you would just focus on not. And this is you getting used to you again. Okay. So this one takes a little bit a little bit longer than some of the rest, but accept your achievement without feeling guilty and not worrying. Okay. And not worrying about what other people feel about your success. Are you happy that you are successful? Let's start there first. Okay. Before you start listening to all of the outside voices, and before you're listening to the inside voice that's in your head that says, well, you know, maybe you should, and all this type of stuff. Do you feel good about your successes? Because if you feel good about your success, you have nothing to feel guilty about. If you feel good about your success, all of this stuff is connected. So that's positive self-talk. And you have to tell yourself, I deserve to be successful. You know what everything that went into getting successful. You knew all of the sacrifices that you made to get to this point. You know the things that you had to give up. You know some of the losses that you took. You know some of the long hours that you took. You know some of the tears that you cried. All right. So think on those things of what it took for you to get where you are, and don't feel guilty about that. That is something to be proud of. That is something to tell yourself, man, I achieved this in spite of, and despite all of the odds that were against you, and you made it to this level. Yeah, you deserve to be there compared to everything that you had to go through to get there. Okay. So when you think about fear of success, okay, when you think about fear of success, look at it as a thought pattern. Because that's what it is. Look at it as a thought pattern that you need to change. It's a thought pattern. So it's a shift in your mindset that has to happen first and foremost. Okay. And you got to get rid of all of the negative. and look for the more positive aspects of not just the steps that you achieve, but look for the more positive aspects of who you are, the core. But that goes into that work of you peeling back the layers and look for the more positive aspects of who you are. And you allow that to be your foundation. And then you build from there. Okay. So I really, really pray that this encouraged somebody. I really, really do. I pray it encouraged somebody because we've all been here. We've all dealt with some of these things. The replay is available for those who say, oh my gosh, I missed it. Don't worry. The replay is available. It's not going anywhere. I don't delete them. I keep them there. This will also be available on YouTube, probably later on today or tomorrow when I get time to go in and edit and all this stuff. So it'll be available on YouTube, but it's still available here on this page. So under all the videos. Okay. And y'all know I always put clips on LinkedIn and stuff like that. But thank y'all for tuning in today, because this was one of those topics that I got so many emails and I got so many texts and inbox from people saying, can we talk about this? And some of you guys were on the live a couple of weeks ago, and you talked about, the fear of success and when was I going to talk about it? And so here we go. So if there's a topic that you are having a challenge with, or you feel like would be a good topic for us to pick apart, let me know. Send me an email. All the information is scrolling at the bottom. Okay, so it is there. And y'all, I got on the Go Get Your Coins. This is the green one. Yesterday I had on the white one with the other design, but boom, we do have the Go Get Your Coins, because we all about being entrepreneurs over here and getting our coins. Okay, and this fear of success, I don't want it to get in the way of you getting your money. All right, getting your coins. But the t-shirts are for sale. So if you want a t-shirt or like one, hit me up. They are $40. That includes the shipping and handling, and that's from size small to 2X. But if we go up past 2X and we go 2X to 6X, that is $45. Okay, but it's been great, y'all. Listen, this has been great. And so I probably will not be on next week with a Forward Friday, because I'll be on next week. I got one more week because I'm going on vacation, y'all. I'm going on vacation on the 12th. So I will not be available from the 12th until the 16th. Okay. I'm already on vacation. Officially, I'm on vacation. Okay. So right now, as of today, I started my official vacation, but I'll be going away on the 12th for the other part of my vacation. So I want to take this time, y'all. So make sure that you're doing self-care, because self-care is so important. And that is why I'm officially on vacation. So I won't be doing anything. But I will try to come on next week with one more Forward Friday for this month. And then for the rest of the month, I'm on vacation. Okay. I'm going to be on vacation doing nothing. And you can do that too. But I will be working on some things. So y'all will be seeing some things that will come up when I come back. And so this has been amazing, y'all. And thank y'all. If you have questions, comments, concerns, send them to hersllc@yahoo.com, y'all. Scrolling across the screen and go over to hersllc.biz. Check out the website and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys another time, y'all. All right. Same line, same time. One more time next week for this month before I go on my vacation. All right. Y'all be good. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, everybody.